Hi everybody and welcome back to the channel today. So the government have announced their spring statement today. So was it a good statement or was it as bad as everybody was predicting it was going to be? So I thought I'd speak about two things. One, which was going to be about the government's forecast, on growth. And the second one, which is the big elephant in the room, or should I say in the room, which was to do with the Department for Work and Pensions and the cuts to benefits. So we'll come to the first one, which is about growth. Now, the OBR today have basically said that they're slashing growth estimates in half, from 2% to 1%. So the argument is the government doing a good job based on that? Well, fundamentally not. And then that they're predicting that next year that growth will increase to something like 2.5%. I could get a figure, I don't really care, because to be honest, in 6 months' time that can change. What I'm more concerned with is the here and now, not what could possibly happen in a year's time. That could easily change. We could end up getting hit by tariffs by America, or more tariffs by China, or anything could happen in 12 months' time. So for the OBR to come out and basically say, oh yeah, we're going to downgrade you, and say that your growth's only going to be 1% this year instead of 2%, like we said back in October, but we think you're going to do all this next year. You can't say that, because especially to do with growth, anything can happen in just a few months. Anything can happen in a month's time, let alone weeks. So to say that it's going to jump from like 1% to around about 2.5%, they're talking absolute BS. They don't know. They're making an assumption, because anything can change. So that's my view when it comes to the OBR's assessment for growth next year. Personally, don't give a damn what they say for next year. What I'm more concerned about is what's going to happen in the here and the now. So that's the first thing. Now, when it comes to the cuts to specifically disability benefits, now I know I'm going to be Mr. Unpopular for saying this. Now, I understand why they want to do it. One, she wants a room for manoeuvrability. Now that, what is it, something like £9.5 billion or something that she likes to have. So from that point of view, I understand. Second of all, the other side of it, far too many people on welfare. But the argument is, if unemployment's growing because you've taxed jobs and taxed employers, what do you bloody expect to happen? As my local MP Caroline Dinage said last week in Parliament, employers don't want to employ the disabled. It causes them more aggro, and especially if you're going to tax them for it more money, what do you expect to happen? Now, the other side of the coin, and this is something that Richard Tice tapped on when he got interviewed by the BBC today. Doesn't pay to work. Unless you're taking home a big salary or you're a single person. If you've got kids and you've got a family and everything, it does not pay to work full time. Now, I got signed off sick last year. And I spoke about this recently, and I've been having to go to Restart. I actually got an appointment in about a week's time with them because of my health issues. I don't get full pip in everything, you know, round the house and mobility or anything like that. I don't get anything like that. And they were doing a calculator with me. And they said to me, don't go and work full time. It's a waste of my time. That's what they said to me. So it's a waste of your time working full time. And that's the problem that we have in this country. It does not pay to work. Now, there's nothing wrong with work. It makes you feel better, good for your mental health, give you a bit of pride, especially if you're man. Because one thing men care about is their pride. Being able to look at their children, being able to look at their wife, being able to face their bloody in-laws, trust me, I know about that. Okay, without getting a load of, what's the word? A load of shit over it, to be honest. Okay, if you're out of work. So from that point of view, I understand why they want to get people back to work, because there are far too many people playing the mental health card and all that kind of stuff, and you can go and bash me with being horrible and everything. But it is the reality. But the fundamental thing is, you may be taking money out, but when it comes to the next election, people are going to remember. Because the fundamental thing is, all my life, the Labour Party are supposed to be the party that stood up for working class people. And this government is not the Labour Party. How they look at themselves, especially backbenchers, you know, it's already been said that there's disputes and arguments after the spring statement about it, but Labour MPs aren't happy. And I'm not surprised Labour MPs aren't happy about it, because they've got to go and face their constituents about this. And especially for people up in the north. Now, because of other channels that I'm involved in, I've spoken about house prices and cost of living and all that type of stuff. But when they're having to go back to their constituencies and try and defend this, I think a lot of MPs are going to have a big problem, Labour MPs. And people don't generally forget if government are going to do this type of thing. They don't. A lot of things be forgetting in no time at all. It's like the old saying, what's in the paper is going to be in tomorrow's fish and chip wrapper at the end of the day. But this type of thing is the type of thing people are going to remember, and they could easily be held accountable. And let's not forget, Keir Starmer said that the economy is one of the things that he wants to be held responsible for, and people to vote for him on at the next election. So by doing what you would expect the Conservatives, to be honest, to do, by targeting the poor, have they actually made the right decision of doing this? Could they have found £500 million from somewhere else? I would suggest they quite likely could have. Should they try to incentivise people to go back to work that are on the sick? Yeah, they should. But is this the right way of going about it? By financially penalising people? I'm not so sure about that. And I think in the coming days, weeks and months ahead, the Labour Party might learn the hard way. And there are people at the moment saying they won't do this in the long term. It'll be kicked into the long grass. So we will see in due course what will happen. Let us know what you personally think of it, you know, in the comments down below. But for now, thanks for watching, and we'll speak to you again a bit later.